Broncos are world champions. They have just won Super Bowl 50.
Congratulations to the champions of the world, the Denver Broncos.
The Broncos remain without a playoff berth since they won Super Bowl 50.
Been here for 7 years, and all I've done is lost.
Broncos country, let's ride.
It's the worst trade in the history of the National Football League.
With the 12th pick, the Denver Broncos select Bo Nix.
There it is.
Quarterback, Oregon.
Bo Nix, his future's bright. I'd be excited if I'm a Denver fan.
Nix to the air. Throws and caught. What a throw by Nix.
The Denver Broncos take a huge step towards clinching their first playoff berth since 2015.
The Haskins, touchdown Chargers.
End zone. Higgins, touchdown. Bengals win. And the Denver Broncos will have to go back to the Mile High City and beat the Chiefs to get in.
A win and you're in. You lose, you go home.
I feel like I've heard that a few times this season. Broncos fans have been Bo-leavers and Bo Nix this season, and it all comes down to this. Let's welcome back in Bryant McFadden. B-Mac, this is now the third win in game for the Broncos. They lost the first two. Now their final hopes are in beating the Kansas City Chiefs. We know the Chiefs are resting their starters. The Broncos are at home here, but still, how much do you believe Denver can actually get it done?
No question, Jordan. I believe, and I guess it's safe to say the odd makers out in Vegas, they believe the Broncos will have enough to win this ball game because depending on where you're shopping, you're seeing them being double-digit favorites in this ball game, to your point, because Kansas City, they're resting some of their key players, which makes the most sense. But they missed opportunities. The last 2 weeks, you talked about being in the midst of a two-game losing streak, losing to the Chargers, and then last week finding a way to lose in overtime against the Cincinnati Bengals. But they still have a window of hope still left open for them, and I think they will get through that said window. You look at the Denver Broncos, the very first meeting against the Kansas City Chiefs, it was a last-second missed opportunity in terms of the blocked field goal that led to the Chiefs winning this ball game. So number one, they respect the Chiefs, but they're not afraid of the Chiefs. This is a team that took the Chiefs, they went toe-to-toe with the Chiefs. Now you get the Chiefs at home in your house. Not seeing Pat Mahomes, not seeing Travis Kelce, not seeing Chris Jones and maybe Isaiah Pacheco and some of the other key starters. You have to find a way to win this ball game. And all the pressure is on Sean Payton because number one, you have exceeded the expectations so far this season, but now we know you can ball. Now we know you can win. You have to find a way to win to get into the tournament because everything is set up for you to win. You're at home. You're not playing against some of the major superstars for the Kansas City Chiefs, even though they will have Andy Reid coaching this team. They will have Steve Spagnuolo, but yet and still, you have to like your chances. Bo Nix has done a fairly good job. You look at the defense, one of the best defenses in the National Football League, led by the best defensive player, in my opinion, and Pat Surtain Jr. And Jordan, you know, I love the style. I love the swag. A little birdie told me they're rocking the Orange Crush uniforms. You know, shouts out to John Elway. So when you put those uniforms on, you got to be ready for business and to handle your business. And hopefully they stand on business this Sunday because they need to.
Look good, feel good, play good. That's what they say, B-Mac. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see if those odds makers are right as they enter as a 10.5-point favorite. For more on the Week 18 games from a betting perspective, let's say hello to our own Katie Mox, who joins me here live on set at CBS Sports HQ. Let's stick here with Chiefs Broncos. As I mentioned, Broncos a 10.5-point favorite. What is your best play here?
Look, I like everything that B-Mac just said, and I do think that the Broncos, especially wearing the Orange Crush, I didn't know that. That was something new that I just learned here, do have a shot to win this game, but 10.5 points, Jordan, this is ridiculous.
I know.
This is a ridiculous spread. I like Bo Nix. Okay, he's fun, he's frisky. We've enjoyed them, and like B-Mac said, though, they've lost the last two games. I just don't think that they're going to be able to do this by 10.5 points. Yes, the Chiefs wrapped up the #1 seed, likely resting a ton of starters. No Patrick Mahomes in this game. He's going to be resting that high ankle sprain, but Casey was able to hold the Broncos just 14 points in their first matchup. They still have the depth, and hey, Carson Wentz, he's a veteran. He's more than capable of keeping this into a decent game. Give me the Chiefs plus the 10.5.
Ooh, okay, like it. Let's go ahead.
Not doing it.
It's going to be a good one on CBS, by the way. Kickoff is slated for 4:25 p.m. Let's get to the Saturday slate now. Primetime kickoff in the Berg at 8 p.m. when the Steelers host the Bengals here. Steelers have seeding to play for. Bengals cannot afford to lose this game. What is your best bet?
I feel like I keep going against where I'm sitting. Noah's doing me kind of dirty here by giving me the Steelers. Give me the Bengals money line. And the short answer for this is, Jordan, I'm not betting against Joe Burrow. And the way this guy has been playing over the last few weeks, it has been absolutely lights out. The offense is averaging 32 points per game. And we look at this Steelers team, very impressive in the beginning part of the season, but they've already locked up their spot in the playoffs. It's very unlikely that the Ravens are going to lose. So #1 in the division, I'm not counting on that one. Now, Pittsburgh's offense did have their way against the Cincinnati defense earlier in the season, but this Cincy defense, yeah, see, Joe Burrow's pointing at them right there. He's like, y'all need to get your stuff together. And Jordan, they listened to him, and they absolutely did. The Steelers have been going in the wrong direction as of late. They've been outscored by 50 points over their last 3 games. In fact, they have lost by 14+ points in 3 of their last 4. It's the first time that's happened since 1988. Joe Burrow.
That is a good play, I believe, not betting against that guy.
You can't.
Lastly, but certainly not least, a game in the NFC North title up for grabs when the Lions host the Vikings here. Vikings, slight road dogs by 2.5 here. What are you eyeing?
I'm going to take the points with the Vikings. In fact, I actually like the Vikings to win this one outright. This is such an important game, and you heard BMAC talk about it in the last segment. The winner gets a first-round bye, and the loser has to go on the road. Very, very high-stakes game here. Both of these offenses are extremely potent. We know this can turn into a shootout, but Jordan, the defenses, that's where the biggest problem is here with this Lions team. They're absolutely decimated. We've seen them get worked over the last couple weeks. In fact, they've given up 30+ points in 3 of their last 4 games. And I know a lot of people are looking at this and are thinking, hey, Jared Goff totally ate up the defense for the Vikings in the first game. And while that's right, there was one person that was missing from that game, and that was Blake Cashman, their starting inside linebacker. He absolutely dominates the middle of the field. He's going to be healthy in this game. Vikings are 13-0 when he plays, coming off one of his best games defensively. 11 tackles, 6 of them solo, 1.5 sacks. He's going to give Jared Goff some problems here. So give me the Vikings plus the 2.5. And if you want to get frisky with it, go ahead and take Minnesota to have over 3.5 touchdowns here. That's at plus 130.
Okay.
I think, again, the Lions have given up 30+ points in 3 of their last 4.
So you got the Vikings here winning, claiming that 1 seed. How confident are you in the playoffs for the Vikings?
Oh, that's a good one. I love Sam Darnold, and I feel like he's been so fun, and I do really like their defense. But when it gets down to it, and well, maybe I like if they can beat the Lions here, they're probably the best team in the NFC. But then when it comes down to it, I'm still taking the Chiefs.
All right, sounds good. We'll leave it there. Kitty Mox joining us here for Week 18 Best Bets. Can you believe it? Fun just beginning, though.